Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time we're doing Burning Abyss. It's another one of my decks from my top 10 budget decks of this format after the ban list and going into Master Rule 5. Really fun deck. Everyone has their own way of playing it. There's definitely no wrong way to play this deck. It's super good any way you play it. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. I got 5 more decks for my top 10 budget decks, and then after that, so that should be done this week, and then next week we'll be starting 5 fun, like just super fun decks for Master Rule 5. So it'll be 5 completely new decks. A couple of them you haven't even seen on this channel yet, so looking forward to that. Otherwise, we're going to get right into this one. I will try to show the cards a little better, closer to the camera so you can see the card names, just to help you guys out if you don't know what all these cards are. So, starting off with 3 Farfa. He's one of your best interruptions on your opponent's turn. Really good. So, Farfa, Malbranch of the Burning Abyss. Really like him because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one monster on the field and banish it until the end phase. So obviously sending that, like with a Beatrice or something on your opponent's turn, can mess up a lot of their plays. Also play 3 Skarm. This is one of your main ways of searching, basically, because during the end phase, if this card was sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand. So that can even search out Tour Guide, which is an amazing card for this deck. And then also playing 2 Libic. He is really nice. So Libic, Malbranch of the Burning Abyss. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your hand, and its effects are negated. Because the thing with all the Burning Abyss, if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, you destroy that card. So him special summoning 1 from the hand negates his effect. So then if you happen to have to go into like a link that's not a Burning Abyss, he will not blow himself up because his effects are negated from Libic. So that's pretty cool. Best card in the deck is Graph. You can only play 1. He's at 1 for a reason. If he's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Burning Abyss from your deck. Super good. And then Sir, that's C-I-R. He's his best friend. Basically, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Burning Abyss in your graveyard and special summon it. So you can even special summon back a Dante from your graveyard, which is really nice. Kind of just allows stuff to float. It'd be really nice to have both these at 2 someday. We'll see. And then we got 1 Alec. Just a nice little card to play. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn. So that again is another interruption on your opponent's turn. 1 Barbar. Barbar is good burn damage. If this is sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 Burning Abyss monsters in your, or Burning Abyss cards in your graveyard, banish them, and you inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card. So you can potentially do 900 damage to your opponent. And then the last Burning Abyss card we play is Calcab. He is just, if he's sent to the graveyard, you just target 1 set, spell, and trap on the field and return that to the hand. So really good against, trap heavy decks. So yeah, that's the Burning Abyss lineup. That's pretty much what I do in most of my Burning Abyss builds. Sometimes I'll bump Alec up to 2. Sometimes I'll put Libic down to 1. It just kind of depends on what I'm feeling. But I think moving into Master Rule 5, it's going to be nice to have that special summon from hand from Libic. So this is what I'm playing. And then one of the best complements to the Burning Abyss strategy is going to be Phantom Knights. And the best one is Silent Boots. If you control a Phantom Knights monster, you can just special summon this from your hand. And then also you can banish this card from your graveyard and add one Phantom Knight spell and trap from your deck to your hand. So normally that's going to be your trap card. That's super, super nice. We'll get to that. And then we play 2 Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak is going to be banishing. You can banish him from your graveyard and then add one Phantom Knight's card from your deck to your hand. Add one the Phantom Knight. So basically one of the monsters. It's your way of searching out Silent Boots. So he is nice as well. And then 1 Ragged Gloves. He's nice because if a Dark Xyz monster is summoned using this card, it gains 1,000 attack. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard and send one Phantom Knight's card from your deck to your graveyard. So a couple decent effects. That 1,000 attack is really nice. If you can, use Break Sword's effect and then be able to summon back them and then go into like a Dark Rebellion, boost his attack by 1,000. It's kind of nice. Cool little gimmick. And then we play 2 Tour Guide. We'd play 3 if we could. Tour Guide is absolutely amazing, absolutely necessary. When it's normal summon, you just special summon any level 3 Fiend type monster from your hand or deck. Its effects are negated, so that's really nice because your Burning Abyss monsters won't blow themselves up because it's negating their effects. But then they'll still get their effects when they hit the graveyard. So Tour Guide, absolutely amazing. And then we play 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior. I still really like this card. Fiend type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So when you normal summon him, and then all of your Burning Abyss, you can special summon them from your hand if you control no spell and traps. So you would normal summon Fiendish, special summon a Calcab, and then he won't be destroyed by his own effect. So that's super nice. And then also, if Fiendish Rhino is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Fiend-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So he basically becomes any one of these effects that you need. So absolutely amazing. Let me move these up. That was Fiendish Rhino Warrior. I don't know if I showed him. And then hand traps are awesome in Burning Abyss. So we play 6 of them. 2 Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler just negates the effects of a opponent's monster, and it can be used more than once per turn. Play 2 Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is really nice, just for getting rid of a monster on the board when it activates its effect. And then 2 Saravis. He's really nice for protecting your cards. If one of if your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a monster you control, you just discard him and negate the activation. So really nice if they're trying to do something to your Fiendish Rhino Warrior or your Tour Guide. And also, all of these guys are light. And then most of these are going to be dark. All your Phantom Knights and all your Burning Abyss are all light, are all dark. So I'm playing 1 Blackluster Soldier. That's going to be I just wanted 1. I don't want to see it all that often, but when you see it, it's obviously nice. You just banish 1 light and 1 dark, and then you special summon him, and then you can target 1 monster on the field, banish it, or if this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can make a 2nd attack, and it's got 3,000 attack, so that's a lot of damage going to your opponent. But that is it for the monsters. Pretty high monster count, but that's kind of how the deck is. And then playing 3 Called by the Grave. This is going to be just a really good way of, again, protecting that Tour Guide and Fiendish Rhino Warrior from getting like Effect Veilered or Ashed or whatever. It's super important, and it's also good, as disruption on your opponent's turn again, because most decks are going to be targeting something in the grave, or, you know, trying to get graveyard effects off and stuff. So Called by the Grave is just a good card in general. And then 3, Allure of Darkness. You play a lot of darks, so this is really nice draw power for the deck. And then playing 2, Pot of Avarice. Couldn't quite play 3. Just wasn't quite comfortable enough. But it is really good because you do mill a lot. So then you can then recycle those 5 monsters back to the deck and then draw 2 cards. So really nice card. And then 1, Card Destruction. Just for getting a lot of effects off from your Burning Abyss monsters and redrawing. Really nice. 1, Monster Reborn for special summoning back whatever you need from the grave. And then Foolish Burial. That should be the most obvious card in this deck. You want to get your Burning Abyss effects off. So Foolish Burial. Just send whatever you need. Send a Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Really nice. And then 3 of the Phantom Knight's trap card. You just target 1 effect monster and negate its effects. And that face-up monster cannot attack. And monsters cannot target that face-up monster with attacks either, unfortunately. But this is your way of just putting up negates on the board, basically. Just really nice, and it's searchable off of Fogblade. Or, sorry, off of, that's Fogblade. Off of Silent Boots, you just banish this, and you're going to be adding that most of the time. Really nice card. And then for our extra deck, playing 3 Dante. Super nice card. He's the heart and soul of the deck. And now with Master Rule 5, you can make, you know, multiple ones of him in the main monster zone instead of having to make them in the extra monster zone. But you're just going to be detaching, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Burning Abyss and add it to your hand. So he's a really nice floater. And then you can also make a Beatrice. You just are going to be discarding 1 Burning Abyss monster, and then you can slap her on top of a Dante. And then she can, you just detach 1 and send 1 card from your deck to your graveyard. And then if this card is destroyed by opponent's card, effect, or battle, you can special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So normally that's going to be Dante Pilgrim, because he's 2800 attack, really nice attack. And then you can send 1 Burning Abyss card from your hand to the graveyard and draw 1 card. And then if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if it's sent to the graveyard by just an opponent's card effect, you can send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. So he just has, they all just kind of float into each other, really nice. And since we're playing the Phantom Knights, since you're going to be banishing them from the graveyard, Levier becomes really cool. And then obviously Master Rule 5, it's going to be nice to make him and a Dante, you know, special summon. It's just a really nice card. You just detach 1, target 1 level 4 or lower monster that's banished, and special summon it. So really nice. Potentially even play this at 2. That's up to you. We're just playing it at 1 here. That's Levier. And then we're playing 2 Phantom Knights of Breaksword. You just detach 1, target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy them. So normally you can target himself, because if this card is destroyed, you just target 2 Phantom Knights monsters with the same level and special summon them and increase their levels by 1. And then so normally, so they'll be level 4, and then you can go into Dark Rebellion, and if one of those monsters was a Ragged Gloves, he'll gain 1,000 attack as well. And then you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, and its attack becomes half its current attack. And then this card gains the lost attack. So you could get this guy up to some pretty high attack. And then we play just 1 Cherubini. I like him a lot. Obviously, he's one of the newer cards. He's really amazing. Just requires 2 level 3 monsters. Monsters this card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects. So again, that'll help protect your Burning Abyss monsters from getting destroyed if you control, non-Burning Abyss cards. And then if this card would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard instead. So you can potentially get some effects off. And then you can also send one level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard, target one Burning Abyss monster on the field, and it gains attack and defense equal to that monster's. But it's basically just your way of sending a monster to the graveyard. Super, super nice. And then Nightmare Phoenix for getting rid of just problem spells and traps. Nightmare Unicorn, getting rid of anything. Topologic Trisbania. Really easy to get into with this kind of deck. And it's just going to be getting rid of spell and traps. Topologic Bomber is going to be getting rid of all monsters in the main monster zone. So he's nice. And then Borreload, just one Borreload. Potentially just be a really problematic cards for a lot of decks that like to target and stuff. So that is it for the deck, guys. So we still got 4 more decks coming up for my budget deck profiles, and then we'll be going into 5 really fun decks for Master Rule 5. So stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you on the next one.